I anticipated. The imprint of Callus's consciousness is fractured, straining, as if Callus's mind is at war with itself.
Yeah.
Oh god, I just got a weapon.
Hey there, friends and enemies, Joper here again, and today we have another fun Arc Titan build, and I am so excited. Arc 3.0 has been amazing for these builds. I've been having a ton of fun testing these out across all kinds of content. For this one specifically, I took this through 100k Nightfall, Gambit, and the Duality Dungeon, which that's where the gameplay is going to come from. So I can confirm that this loadout does well no matter where you're using it, all kinds of different content. It's all based around a couple things. First and foremost, you have to unlock the Lightning Strikes Twice class item mod in the artifact. I was using Armamentarium. You could probably swap out for Heart of Immolsight, but I really wanted to use this. And the reason I'm using Armamentarium is because Storm Grenades in PvE are fantastic right now. They're so much fun, especially when you're on your Titan, because you can rock the Touch of Thunder arc aspect. After detonating, creates a roaming thundercloud that tracks nearby targets and fires bolts of lightning at foes beneath it. So this thing is going to be pretty juiced up. It absolutely melts adds all over the place. It does a bunch of damage. It's really, really fun. I was also rocking Knockout as well for the melee. I was throwing on Thunder Crash just because, even though it's not fantastic for PvE without Curious, it does one-shot a lot of enemies like champions and the like if you're going for 100k Nightfall. So that's really nice. Although you can rock Fist of Havoc, that doesn't matter. My fragments, I was rocking Spark of Shock and Spark of Feedback, Spark of Magnitude, and then Ions. Now, the reason being, defeating a jolted target creates ionic traces, and then that's going to feed into this, your Arc Grenades jolt targets. So that's really nice, because you'll jolt them with the grenade, you'll defeat them, and then you'll get an ionic trace, and then your lingering arc grenades, like Storm Grenades, have extended duration. So that all kind of combines to create a perfect storm with your grenade. Now, I'm also rocking Nezarec's Whisper with Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie. Both of these are enhanced. Essentially, I never have to take this weapon off unless I want to use a different weapon for boss killing or the like. I do have something like Empirical Evidence for Wellspring, but really you can throw on any primary weapon you want, especially if you need like an auto rifle for champion mods or a pulse rifle for unstoppable champions, whatever the case may be. And then your heavy is also something that is really, really flexible. This is the key. Basically, you can toss a grenade, shoot some enemies with the Nezarec Whisper, then you'll toss another grenade, get your grenade back, and then it'll be a nice little cycle there of increasing your damage with this weapon, throwing grenades, doing damage, clearing. It's just a fantastic little loop there that I highly recommend you checking out. If you have, especially if you have a weapon that has Demolitionist and an Adrenaline Junkie on it. Mods, I'm rocking Firepower, we got Ashes to Assets, we got Shield Break Charge here, Double Grenade Kickstart. I just want to make sure I have my grenades back at all times. Armamentarium gives me the extra grenade charge, so I'm able to just toss them pretty much willy-nilly. Almost unlimited grenades, as well as I have here the High Energy Fires, so I do increase damage. I can toss a grenade, get a well, and then do some damage with High Energy Fire on a boss. That's really nice. Elemental Ordnance, of course. Toss a grenade, I'm going to get some kills and get my Elemental Wells there. And then also we've got Lightning Strikes Twice and Elemental Charge. Lightning Strike Twice is the key to this build. If you didn't have this unlocked already, after throwing the grenade, gain increases grenade energy for a short time, and then Arc Final Blows extend this duration. So you're tossing grenades and you're just getting them all the time. It feels honestly like I'm in a game of mayhem when I'm just throwing my storm grenades everywhere, lightning striking the enemies. And no matter what content is, because you're able to do so much damage with double grenades, you can take down champions, bosses, everything without really needing to worry about anything but your grenade. I did use my melee from time to time if necessary, but between that and the glaive, one of the things that's underrated with the glaive is it does have a perk, the Extrovert Origin trait. Final blows while near multiple combatants restores your health. So basically, if you're in the thick of the fighting and you're spamming grenades, if you're using your glaive, you're constantly regenerating health, so you don't really have to worry about dying as often. I know everyone wants classic restoration back in order to really stay alive all the time in PvP or PvE, but this is a nice little exception where you can rock this and heal yourself pretty consistently with this. And then the other benefit to running this build is you do have knockout as your other aspect, and then defeating targets with melee attacks starts your health regeneration and makes you amplified. That's actually really key as well, because you're going to be amplified pretty much all the time while rocking this, and you're able to use that with your glaive pretty consistently. So honestly, it's so much fun. It's a great loop across all kinds of different content, especially if you want to be like a grenade master. You know, it's easy to get caught up just punching everything in Destiny with your Titan, because that's what the character is made for. That's what the class specializes in. However, the buffs to the grenades are actually insane and a lot of fun. I also have been experimenting a lot more with the thruster dodge ability, and it can get you into some tricky situations and out of some tricky situations really fast, and I do like that a lot. You have to stay grounded, but with this glaive build, you're going to pretty much be boots on the ground all the time anyway, so it doesn't matter. And overall, this is something that I highly recommend people check out. Like I said, there's pretty much no content where you wouldn't be comfortable using this, especially if you're throwing on something like a heavy weapon that can do DPS to various enemies, because if you have like a linear fusion in that slot, you can use Storm Chaser if you want to rock Arc 1, or you can throw on the new Typhon as well. There's just so many options to go with this build, and it all centers, like I said, around the Nezarec Whisper and the grenades. And having something, a combination, be so powerful and then have everything else be flexible is something that I personally really enjoy. And my reason for that is that I can now specialize the rest of my build any way I want. I can run double special if I really wanted to. I can rock rocket launchers or linear fusions or sword, anything in the heavy slot, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And I also don't have to worry about running Curious, because while that's going to do a lot of damage and take care of bosses for me, I can now more freely use my super and not have to save it for specific situations. Because of that, again, that's a bit more freedom with this build that I think a lot of people should be aware of, and that is the reason that I really love running this. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you try this in the comments down below. Level up that Nezarec Whisper if you haven't already. It is fantastic. Glaives are still a little bit underrated in my opinion across the community, and I would highly recommend you getting that leveled up as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I put out build videos pretty consistently. I throw out Destiny 2 content basically every day, including a live stream from time to time on YouTube. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. So say subscribe for that. My name is Jopa. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later. Down by
Down
Ben.
here on me.
Great, now I've got my Sunlight Crush back.